shimmering pale white moonlight showers you with with its powerful moon energy as moonbeams dance upon the undulating ebony water surrounding you. As you walk along the beach with the waves gently kissing your feet and the ocean singing to you, you look to the heavens and you see the most wondrous, brilliant star. As you gaze upon this twinkling star, you see it fall suddenly into the water, and in a flash of light, a beautiful, perfect dolphin emerges from that very spot. And in an instant, your heart and mind knows that this magical being came to you from the heavens above. The dolphin calls to you in a language not of words, but of the heart. It is an easy, joyous communication welcoming you to approach and enter the water. Excitedly you do so, finding the water warm and soothing. As you greet one another, you look into the dolphin's eyes, you see the universe itself reflected there. You feel at peace and loved. It is a union and a reunion. You remember and you are connected. Such joy and love you have for your new friend and guide. You take hold of the dolphin's fin and he gently swims with you. You feel totally safe and protected as you both now go beneath the surface of the water, deeper and deeper. How beautiful this underwater world is. You could stay here forever, surrounded by vibrantly colored fish, coral, sea, and plant life of every description. And in the distance, you see a crystal cave, just for you. You and your friend effortlessly glide towards this cave, so inviting. And as you enter the cave, you find it has many, many rooms of colors: red, orange, purple, green, blue, yellow. Each is healing, and you choose the color you need, or you may choose to visit each room. You are like a sponge, observing the vibration, the energy of all the beautiful colors. You may stay here as long as you wish. And when you are ready to leave, you see that your dolphin friend is patiently waiting for you, and he now accompanies you to the surface. You float silently upward and emerge from the water, healed and whole. You bid farewell to each other, thanking this magnificent celestial being for his love and energy and for this healing journey. And in your heart, you know that he will always be with you.
There you go. Presented by James. Good job, James.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a soliloquy is something to kind of put you in a mood, the visualizations.
Yeah.
The only thing I've changed in it is I use the female.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of he, I say she,
Okay.
just because I'm a he, right? And then going deeper, I take that, I go deeper and deeper and deeper, just to take the individual, whoever's listening, into a state of calmness, that you would see. And then coming back up, ascending and coming back up, same kind of thing, more of a, as previously, before you get cleansed. But you remember in Men in Black,
Mm-hmm.
there was a little, there was an alien, it was a cat, and the cat had a collar, and on it was like a little ball.
Yeah.
And if you looked at that little ball, it was like universes inside
Oh
of it.
yeah, I remember.
Right? So when I do in the soliloquy, when it says you look, and it's like you see all the universes there, and I think the eye, right, of the dolphin. So that's a reflection, about all the universes, to what it reminds me of, to that kind of thing. But soliloquies are something that you see in different poetry readings and things, that how people present, and coming from our depths. We're interesting folks. Our humans, right? We
Yes.
have these senses. 5. They say that of course the sixth sense is really intuitiveness, or getting in touch with your higher self, which is intuitiveness.
Yeah.
That in itself, but the spectrum can expand to such a degree that people, when they get into an altered state of consciousness, or they have a near-death experience, or and they go into a realm and they see other folks in that they're within their uh, uh, essence, that essence communication, like what John Lilly does. If he goes into a sensory deprivation tank, and then he and really pretty much becomes these essences,
Yes.
in the communication
Yeah.
to these different degrees. And these folks who get like abducted, they state, yes, I got abducted. This is what happened, and I was on a spaceship. I was doing all these things. Whether or not the vehicle was abducted, or whether or not it was just the consciousness.
Yeah, because it could be both.
Well, yeah, or one, or the other. You could go. The body could go and come back, and not only just maybe have little aches and pains because you got probed or something, right?
Yeah.
But you never really knew that you were there. It's like that flash. Like how Men in Black, how they they do a flash, and or like how we do when we wake up from our dreams. If we wake up from our dreams, maybe you have moments of memory, but if you don't write it down really quickly,
It's
in
gonna go
20
away.
minutes it'll go away.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing about this aspect of where we come from prior to having a human life.
Okay, so just a real quick brief on that.
Yeah.
With the dreams you can't remember, what do you think about the dreams you can?
Well, there's all kinds of not dictionaries or dialogues of dream remembrance. That do it like the one I know. If I dream I'm naked, right?
Okay.
Okay. What that is supposed to mean is that you're very confident. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, as to how that is. If in your dream you don't have any clothes, and you're still, in that doing things,
Yeah.
in a group or a community or whatever, it's because you have all this tremendous amount of confidence. Is how it's
That's
in,
so
that's
interesting.
how it's maybe defined.
Yeah.
So yeah, you look at it, all these different things. Like if you dream about a snake, if you
Yeah.
dream about an elephant, if you dream when you get these dream dictionaries. Now that's an interesting thing. Who are the guys who put this together?
Yeah.
Right. Where did they come from to do that? Come to a conclusion that if you're dreaming about something being in a forest, or if you're dreaming about running from something. See, what they say, this is an interesting thing. Nightmares, oftentimes, maybe when you were a kid, something was chasing you, right? And you wake up in a nightmare that you were running from something.
Yeah.
So what it is, that the lesson in that, and any time it occurs, you simply turn around and face whatever's chasing you. And then whatever's chasing you becomes your ally, and it becomes your friend, because you faced it, facing your problems.
Oh.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, so it just has to play a lot with emotion, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now I have that disorder where everything has to be kind of in order.
Yeah.
Right. That one. So my dreams are that way. I'm constantly in my dreams. I'm putting things in order. Like if I see a stack of books that are not stacked neatly,
Yeah.
I'll stack them neatly. But the trick to that is never expect anybody else to do that who you're around.
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my dreams have always been about like the world ending.
Well, that's interesting. I had a dream. And this was a very vivid dream. I was like in the Northwest, like up in Yellowstone, or up
Okay.
and in that dream I was at a gas station.
Okay.
And because I remember there's a lot of large trees around, and kind of really beautiful venue, the place where I was. And then I was gassing my car, and there was a child who came running at me with a screwdriver.
Oh, as in like combative?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so what happened was, animals were attacking humans. Okay. And so if you weren't pretty evolved, if you were pretty still low on the revelation of animal, like if you were like a child, would maybe be closer to an animal aspect. And so animals attacking, little children attacking. So we had to leave, and there was a group of people who we were with in a car. Then we were kind of looking at each other, because the humans started, if you weren't in a pretty higher consciousness, the humans, lower consciousnesses of the humans would react, and where they were like trying to kill people. So
Oh.
so the group of us in the car, we were kind of looking at each other about, is any of those individuals in the car going to attack or do anything
Yeah.
to us? And I remember we were going down, we went to a river, and at the river we got on a boat to get away so we weren't around people or animals to come to attack us. And to that aspect, whether or not that's the end of the world or whether or not that's just the end of whatever phase and the individuals who were, it's whether or not, the zombie thing. The zombie thing's a big thing
Yeah.
now. My kids at my school, they play zombie, right? They chase each other around on the zombie or whatever. And so that's an interesting thing because of just, the television shows and the things we've had. So what were your dreams about?
Oh, it's so it was like in 2020, right? So this was like probably the beginning of the spiritual journey. So
Okay.
things got a little like, I had a lot of fear back then. So it was like consecutive dreams of the world ending. Um, I think I could relate to what you said about like the group of people who are in like the higher consciousness or just a higher plane, right? And then the lower ones are the ones attacking, essentially, right? So a lot what it had to deal with in terms of end of the world. Um, the first one was a nuke, right? And pretty much, it was just the aftermath, right? I'm not too sure if you know the game Fallout.
No, I'm not
No.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pretty much the nuke is finished, and there's the wasteland. Of course, people eventually had to come out of the bunker to go and find food, make a way of living because you can't necessarily stay in the bunker forever. So when the radiation cools down, these people they're called I think the rebels, right? Yeah, because it literally said on the flag, it said rebels. So they had like this whole castle, and I think it was me and one other person. We were walking miles on end, and we were literally about to like pass out. So right when we were about to pass out, we saw the bunker. Well, bunker, but it was more like a base. So it was so weird. And I think a lot of it has to do with fear, right? Because there was like animals I've never seen, but they were horrifying, right? I think I saw an elephant, but it was like tortured to a point where it was like horrifying to see, because I'm a big animal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then there's like big eagles and stuff and then there's this whole boss thing. I had to go meet him, and then eventually we started fighting. It was just a lot of fear, right? And then there was another one. Oh my gosh, this one I could remember pretty vividly. So it was kind of at end of the world, but it was like society kind of going back into its normal way, but it was a little bit more controlling. So like North America and South America, they had their own domes, right? And in order to cross the domes, because you couldn't cross it, you needed like some type of like clearance. So I was in Europe. They called it the wasteland, where all the people, the bad people, they go, and then me, like a group of people, we were chosen to go back into the bubbles. And those domes essentially were the only areas, North America and South America, that were actually holding like life, like plants, people, animals, and then everything out of it, Europe, Asia, Pacific, Africa, it was all dead, essentially. So we were chosen to go there, but we weren't chosen to go there for a good reason. Well, we were chosen there to go there for a bad reason, because we were smart. They needed us, and then eventually, it was like kind of like a hint at slavery, right? Because that's what we felt like. Like they're just gonna chain us up and just send us to school, and you just work us to death, essentially, right? Because I've always been like an advocate for that, right? Just do what you want, go be a business owner, be free, essentially, do what you want to do. So I kind of think it plays into that, and then eventually, we're challenging the people who are like the lead management of the domes, right? That keep it together. I'm not too sure if you heard of like the New World Order. It kind of goes into like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm a big like, before my spiritual upcoming, I used to be a conspiracy theorist, or that's what I
Sure.
thought it was, right?
Sure.
And I would study it hours after hours after hours, right?
Wow.
Because I was curious,
Sure.
but I just
Yeah.
wanted answers, right? Because
Yeah.
I was, I think, 16 at the time.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're thinking.
Yeah,
No,
just
that's important.
constantly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then I stumbled across some spiritual stuff, right? The dimensions, aliens, essentially. And yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, one of the things interesting now that seems to be going on is entering into this 1,000 years of peace and love kind of a thing. And us, how we're introducing Tanaichi by getting in with a new name and a higher conscious and introducing what I've seen is the difference of a lot of these events that people are talking about, getting into these higher consciousnesses is they don't have the name like James and Kim and John, right? With James, Kim, and John, and we're doing Guides, love, love, love. We're there. That solidifies being there in that fifth dimensional realm with an avatar that we're going about our business with, in a third dimensional sense. And we understand completely about the third dimension because we understand why we have fear. It's because we have love, and why we have pain because we have bliss. And once that's understood, there you're free of it.
Yeah.
And then because you're free of it, you're in a state of bliss. That's just where you are.
Yeah.
And that gives you that opportunity to help other people, because now once you've understood it, you're no longer striving to try to understand it. Now it's time to give individuals that opportunity to identify who they are in higher consciousness.
Yeah.
So what we do at Smoojan with people coming in, the students and the parents and monitors, all being introduced to the higher consciousnesses and getting a new name. And I watch how people respond to that when you introduce it to them, and they're it's like they're freed. They're freed of where they were before or who they were before, and it's that simple.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this thing, of how simple it is and how everybody gets it. We've never had anybody not get it, which is where we are in this. Now we're in the 1,000 years of peace and love.
That's really enlightening.
Yeah,
to hear.
well, that's the practice, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I have students who take peer counseling, peer support, and they can get 2 credits by doing Tanaichi and teaching 20 people, right? And then every person they teach, they write 1 paragraph about the reaction of the person they teach, right? And it'll oftentimes it'll start out with something like, well, they were they were kind of thinking funny, or this is what is this, and kind of a thing. But then all of a sudden it changes. And all of a sudden, especially when you get rid of the ego, when you ask what's the name of the mother of the great grandmother on the mother's side of the family, and they don't know, so they realize, yes, they are pretty temporary because of that, just in that in itself. So getting rid of the ego, then they build, like Father Goffigan, he's real clear about too. You got to get rid of the ego if you're going to get any kind of spiritual sense, as to have it being pulled down.
Yeah.
But then the latest one, just this last night, I was saying, you want some more pamphlets to this one series? He said, no, we're all airdropping it now.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? Yeah. So you see that as to what it is, and then how the different Gita giving us $25,000 to try to get this out. We've JFK and Simon Chance has been, and then now working closer to try to get into the middle schools.
Nice.
Because we hear the kids and what they're doing and how we can get as much information out to as many people as possible, but never for myself. They always that 144,000. You ever hear that number, 144,000? Okay, well,
I think it's a frequency.
Well, it's
144 hertz.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's in Revelations, it's like only 144,000 people are gonna evolve into this space, kind of a thing. It's interesting as to how it is, and I know Seventh Day Adventists, they look at that number 144,000.
Yeah.
But what I see, if anything, it's 144,000 of the original thought producers that Edgar Casey talks about. That in the individual, the people you've already done the planet Earth. You've already gone through the zodiac signs. You've already done all your reincarnations. Yeah. You're finished with that. You've already in another space, in another location, and now the 144 have come back here to try to get as many people as possible to get ready for what it is that you're talking about. This revelation of self to where, now you're, and an interesting thing is that reincarnation. Now, see, the half the world believes in reincarnation. The Buddhists, in Asia, in America, and throughout the world, the Buddhism, the reincarnation is something that's taught. That is in fact the matrix.
Yep.
that you're coming back into.
Yeah.
Now, how many times you have to come back into because you just haven't quite gotten it yet, right? What it is you're supposed to learn. So you have to come back to continue until you get to this level of the spiritual maturation and the essence, and doing these different bodies and situations and positions you're put in to find that self awareness, right? But what I'm saying is now everybody can get it wherever you are in your spiritual maturation.
Okay.
As to what and what you can only pray for. And nobody, the great military statement, we don't leave anybody behind. Nobody's left behind. And it's not like the third dimension changes. It's just now you're opened up to the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
So you're living your life in consciousness in this fifth dimensional bliss state where you live forever, where you have all the knowledge of the universe, where you live in truth, where there's no gender, and you're able to have that sense of still dealing with your third dimensional realities. It's like, that fire is still going to burn you. You're still going to have all these things that are still going to happen to you. You're still going to have fear because you're going to have love. You're still going to have pain because you're going to have bliss. But you understand it.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case. Are we doing Burger King?
Hi, John. Yes, we are.
Oh, man, I love that Impossible Burger. French fries.
We love burgers.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, well, we'll take a break for Burger King. Absolutely. Thank you.
CBS News Brief. As Hurricane Erin continues churning farther away from the mid-Atlantic coast, it's still affecting conditions there. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano is at Virginia Beach.
There are lifeguards on duty, but not to rescue people, but to make sure that people don't even get into the water. It's so rough here, and will continue to be in the next couple of days.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed legislation calling for a special election on newly redrawn congressional maps.
We'll be the first state in U.S. history to, in the most democratic way, submit to the people of our state the ability to determine their own maps.
CBS's Nick Zesevich reports Eric Menendez has been denied parole in California, with his brother Lyle to go before the parole board today.
Although the parole board has denied Eric's release, Lyle could get a different outcome. The brothers have tried to demonstrate their rehabilitation in different ways, which could affect the board's decision.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Toscano.
Many companies are moving slow on AI. Thank goodness many employees are moving fast. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Lots of companies have invested money on AI, but in a recent survey from MIT, 95% of them say their corporate investment has so far not improved their profit at all. Zero. Fortunately for those companies, however, their employees are moving ahead on their own, and they're not telling their employers about it. They're just using their own personal accounts with ChatGPT or other AI providers, and that is almost certainly improving productivity. As employees become more familiar with personal AI tools that suit their needs, they become less tolerant of their employers' slow-moving official AI projects. It's a striking difference from new technologies of the past, which employees mostly hated. Now they're leading the way. I'm Jeff Colvin.
Screenshots can pop. This is Soundbites, and I'm Alan Davidson. A screenshot's a screenshot's a screenshot. Maybe, until you discover CrispShare. It gives your ordinary workaday screenshots vim, vigor, and zing. How? With a whole range of distinctive backgrounds, special effects, and customization features, they can really turn your presentation to something people will be talking about for weeks. There's a whole array of dedicated palettes, gradients, shadows, borders, and all kinds of other handy tools that can put your screenshots steps ahead. And it all happens right in your browser. Nothing leaves your computer, and their site stores nothing. Distinctive, professional-looking screenshots in seconds for you, all ready for your meeting decks and your reports. Get the Crisp Share Edge at crispshare.com. With Soundbites, I'm Alan Davidson for CBS News.
Edge of Heaven is brought to you by BK's Burger King. I'm sorry. BK's Breakfast Cheesy Melt with your choice of ham, bacon, or sausage. Available during breakfast hours at BK.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, Edge of Heaven. So, our new producer. Yeah. Now, your jewelry. Is that a crystal on your finger? Oh, you have one on your neck too.
Oh, yes.
That's from Palau.
Yes.
Yeah, your necklace is from Palau, but your rings, you have a crystal.
So this is a motivite.
Okay. Okay, and your other one?
It begins with the O.
Oh, onks, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you believe in crystals?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Well, you're in the right place.
Ooh.
Okay. Okay, so what this is called the Tenaichi. Tenaichi in Chamorro means eternity, and what we're introducing you to who you really are is the idea. Okay, so first of all, introducing myself. My name's Rand. Okay, and then of course we talked Josiah, right?
Yes.
Okay, as to this avatar. Now, what do you call your avatar? What do you call your body? What's the name that you use?
Fluffy?
Fluffy? Okay? Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce you and ask you to pick a higher consciousness name. Okay? Now, I picked John. Took mine after my dad. I'm a junior. John's in my name, but I don't use it. But my dad is John. He's a senior, but so I took his name. He died when he was 58, and we were real close. As one of my things that I love to do, I have a 7-day clock, a wind-up clock that was on our mantle, and when I was raised, that every Sunday he would. So every time I crank this clock, it's my dad cranking the clock. You know what I mean? I mean, it's to that aspect. So John is my higher conscious. Now, who did you pick for your higher consciousness?
It's James. So I have multiple uncles named James. My biological dad's middle name is James. My great-grandfather's middle name was James, right? So it's a lineage thing for me.
Okay.
Also, my brother's middle name is James.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you might as well fit in, right?
Yep.
Yeah, a good idea. Now, Issa,
Yes.
your higher conscious, how did you come about with your higher conscious name?
It was my Auntie Kim, right? We were very close. She was more like a sister to me, so that's why I chose her name.
Okay, Kim. Okay. So, what do you want to pick for your higher consciousness? Be any name at all. It can be a grandmother's name, grandfather's name. We could put Saint Fluffy if you want, or whatever name that you feel is something that you like to name your higher consciousness.
I would say Mamang Isao.
Mama na Isao.
Mamang.
Mama Isao. Okay, how do you spell Isao?
I-S-A-U.
Okay, I-A-S-U.
I-S-A-U.
I-S-A-U. Isao. Okay, A-U. Okay. Mama Isao. Okay. All right. Now, is it okay if James and John and Kim and Mama Esau have a conversation?
Yes.
Okay, so by us agreeing, this is a name you've given yourself, not a name that your parents gave you, and this puts you into a higher consciousness. Okay, think about this is the third dimension that's sitting here, but now fifth dimension now with this new name. Okay, let's go up, we'll jump up a couple of dimensions. Now in that fifth dimension, that higher consciousness, you live forever, you have all the knowledge of the universe, you live in truth, there's no gender, there's no judgments, and you're surrounded by unconditional love. Now, my definition of unconditional love, I teach pre-kindergarten gate up at Estumbo, right? So every Valentine's Day, we pass out our Valentines one at a time. So I love you, Bobby. I love you, Sally. I love you, Marie. I love you, Juan. And then the next day, Juan goes, Mr. Coleman, Bobby just hit me. I go, Juan, what do you say to Bobby? I love you, Bobby. Unconditional love. Who's ever given you the most problems in life? That's how I define. And we all individually have that to where we are and that feeling. Now, can you name the mother of your great-grandmother on your mother's side of the family? The mother of your great-grandmother?
I'm not too sure, but I know that my whole family side of my mother's side they have Agigo, which is my grandma's name that's been going down to.
Okay, but you're not sure what her name was. Okay, so this is the reason why we do this. We want to, if you do know it, then we would ask her, what is her mother's name? And what is her mother's name? We keep going until you don't know, because we want to get to a point where we can say, well, no, right? Not everybody knows what this mother is here on our script, what it says. No, right? You hardly find anyone who can name the mother of your great-grandmother on your mother's side of the family. So in 4 to 5 generations, no one will know your name or anything about you, and your body has a license, and it's your birth certificate. And the reason why we do that is to get rid of your ego. Your ego is, of course, who's in the mirror, what kind of car you drive, where you work, where you go to school, who your family is. And we've risen above that now with Mama Isu. Okay? And in that thought that you are now free of your ego, because the ego is the only thing that's going to keep you from being Mama Isu. Okay? Okay, now, the third dimension is a world of duality. This third dimension that our avatars, our bodies are in. There's bliss and pain, there's love and hate, there's liberals and conservatives, there's pro-choice and pro-life. You meet people who think exactly the opposite of you. That's what this third dimensional reality is. Now, karma. We always think, well, you do something good, and something good happens to you. You do something bad, and something bad happens to you. Well, this approach that we're using is Isaac Newton's thought. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So when something good happens to you, it's going to be followed by something bad happening to you. And the big message that Jesus of Nazareth gave us as his ascension and being God was bliss, helping people, miracles, doing everything we can. That bliss had to be balanced with pain, the crucifixion. And so that's what was shown to us as to what it is and how we did. He didn't have to do that. Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Emmanuel said, you don't have to do this. But no, I have to do this because I have to show what goes and how we live our lives here. Okay, so then the balance is unavoidable, okay? And in the third dimension, it's Mother Nature, it's natural. Everybody goes through it. You think about childbirth. It's so painful having the child, but once the child's on your chest as the mother, it's completely blissful. Jenny and I, we go sailing down to Seti Bay. We had this great weekend. It couldn't be better. Husband and wife, how does it get better than on a sailboat in Seti Bay? We come back the next week, my truck gets stolen, her van gets stolen, and we go, it was worth it. It was worth it, because we know, right, what is the price we're going to pay? You got a promotion? Okay, what's the price you're going to pay for that? Well, for WASC, Smooja got our WASC accreditation. The week we got, the stamp for another 6 years of WASC accreditation. I'm leaving Napa, and I'm driving down the driveway to go to Marine Corps, or go to Route 16, right? And so I look ahead of me, there's no cars. I look behind me, there's no cars. And I pull down, but there was a car right next to me. And I bump him. It was a real simple, fender bender kind of thing. And they're interesting, the people in those cars were just coming from the hospital with a brand new baby.
Wow.
So that was their bliss.
It's like a domino.
And the pain, and my bliss and the pain, right, as to how it is. So that, in my life, I see that. We see and understand why, these things are the way they are. So once you understand them, then you're free of it, right? Okay, so whatever happens in your human form is a lesson for your higher consciousness. The good things and bad things that happen to you causes your higher consciousness to ascend. Mama Isu, everything that happens to you in your avatar, all your experiences, good or bad, Mama Isu doesn't care, is ascending because it's an experience. Okay? So your higher conscious ascends with every experience of your human body. So you want to have as many experiences as possible, all the way up to the last breath. You think about how people go out. We come in strollers, we go out in wheelchairs, right? You think about people who get in dementia, people who, their bedpans aren't getting cleaned at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's all these kind of things that we go through in our lives is the balance. But you got to do it. You got to go to the whole. Don't cut it short. No assisted suicide. You got to do the whole ball game if you want to get clear of this place. If you want to make it to where you're ready to leave your completely coming back, over and over again and reincarnating because you haven't quite met it yet. So that's the trick, is to go all the way and finish and experience whatever pain, it's experience bliss. So, if you get a little arthritis in your fingers, maybe it's from that first kiss. Yeah, right? So you see that in your life. So you have that strength now of understanding. That's the key. So you are the higher consciousness, Mama Isu's, having the human experience of Fluffy. Okay? Mm-hmm. So your higher conscious demands your body be nourished with good food, get enough sleep, and exercise so your higher conscious can transcend from all your experience in your body for as long as you live. Got to take care of yourself so you live a long life. Now, we have good thoughts and we have bad thoughts. That's just naturally. You have a thought that comes into your mind, and with that thought that comes into your mind, maybe you're going to have a challenge, with that thought. So we want to come up with a device. We want to come up with a tool that'll make it so you can handle those bad thoughts. You want them. You don't want to spend time with them. You don't want to block them. You don't want to challenge them. You just want them to just go through you. You just let them go on fluid. So it's a mantra. Are you familiar with what the word mantra?
Not quite.
Mantra is a word or phrase you say over and over again to get into a higher consciousness. Now, what your ethnicities plow?
Yes.
So what and how do you say love in plowing?
Love. There's many ways to say it.
Okay, we're talking about the highest love. The highest love that you can have for anybody or anything in that state of love.
Patigurang.
Patigurang. So your mantra is patigurang, 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 patigurang. That's going to take you every time from Fluffy up to Mama Isis. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing you have to say. That is directly, love is the strongest force in the universe. Einstein was real clear about that. He wrote a letter to his illegitimate daughter way back then. He wrote this idea in a 1930 paper for a New York magazine. That's why we're doing it scientifically as opposed to religiously. So we don't offend anybody in a religious sense because it's a scientific approach. So with that motion and saying that, and that vibration will take you to the fifth dimension. Now, when you're doing what you're doing, and in that fact, living your life, we as humans have a hard time with achievers. Famous people, we roast them when they're alive, make fun of them. When they're dead, we eulogize them, we praise them, as to how we are as humans. So you think about a painter. A painter will give them $500 for their painting. As soon as they die, it's worth $5,000. We're crazy. That's just how we are as humans, okay? So let's say you're home, and your neighbor comes home with a great big red Tundra with an 85-inch Samsung TV in the back. The guy's a drug dealer. He's got to be a drug dealer. He's got to be selling ice. How else did he get the money for that big truck and that big TV? You see how we think as humans? Okay, so then you do your let me hear your chant, your mantra.
Patigarang.
Patigarang, 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 patigarang. So now you're in higher consciousness. So you go next door, you help them offload that 85-inch, and say you'll be back in half an hour with the snacks and the drinks to watch a show. See the difference? It's just open. So let's say you're at Donkey Village, all right? And you got a really good parking place. You're almost there. You got your blinker on. You're getting closer and closer. And somebody zips in there and parks and takes that parking place. Human reaction, you roll down the way, hey, man, what's the matter? You saw my blinker. That was my parking place. Rang, rang, rang. You say you're higher consciousness. You get in higher consciousness. You roll down and you go, I love you. Because you have an opportunity to use your unconditional love. And so then you go and find a parking place. I was going to Rockies down there in Agana, and there was a guy pulling out. It was all packed, always packed in there. And then I got my car, and I'm right there ready to I got my blinker on, and the truck came right around and took their parking place. And when it did it, of course, my human reaction was, whoa. And then in my mind, I go, wow, opportunity. I got an opportunity here. I get to tell the guy I love him.
Yeah.
Right? But he didn't get out of the car. Till later on, inside Rockies, I think I knew who it was, right? But that experience, once you engage in this, you start living it. You start living it into that thought. And that fifth dimensional is bliss, because now you understand if something bad happens to you, you understand it's because of a blissful experience that you had. And that's just, how we deal with our lives now. So you don't get to where you're reacting, human reaction, because you do your guides, love, your wherever your mother's. So if you teach somebody this, Tagali, the mahal, of course, tomorrow, guides, and that gives them that opportunity to be in that higher space. And you too. So
Sorry. I'm so sorry, John.
Is it time already?
Is it
Yes.
the burger?
Oh, no, we're back to 7 o'clock?
Yeah, CBS News.
Okay, well, let's listen to CBS, and then we'll be back. Okay. Love you.
KGUM FM. Daddy No. The talk of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Michael Toscano. From Napa Valley to Southern California, the record heat wave there is creating conditions for wildfires to rapidly spread. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is with fire crews in the hills of Los Angeles.
Whenever we have this elevated temperatures, there is always a possibility that any spark could create a fire.
Adam Van Gerpen is a captain with the Los Angeles Fire Department.
There's no such thing as brush fire season. We get our heaviest winds, our Santa Ana wind conditions in October, but we're seeing these fast, erratic winds year-round.
Wall Street and the White House will be watching Fed Chairman Jerome Powell today for clues about Federal Reserve action on interest rates at their meeting coming up in September. Powell will speak today at the Fed's annual economic symposium in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. CBS Money Watch's Amy Peakey will be watching.
The issue is there are a couple more pieces of big economic data that are due to be released before that meeting. One of the big ones is the next jobs report that comes out September 5th.
Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz warns Gaza City could be reduced to rubble unless Hamas accepts Israel's terms for ending the war. Katz posted on social media, the gates of hell will soon open on the heads of Hamas's murderers and rapists. A New York appeals court has tossed the $500 million penalty in the civil fraud case against President Trump and others, calling it excessive. But CBS's Graham Cates reports the finding that Trump and his company used fraudulent financial numbers with banks and lenders still stands.
New York Attorney General Letitia James lauded one aspect of the ruling, which left in place sanctions barring President Trump from serving as an officer or director of any corporation or other legal entity in the state for 3 years.
The Supreme Court says President Trump can proceed to cut hundreds of millions of dollars in research funding at the National Institutes of Health. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
In a 5-4 ruling, the nation's highest court lifted a lower court order that blocked more than $780 million in research grants that were linked to diversity programs. While other aspects of the case are still ongoing, this latest ruling is another win for President Trump, who has sought to end diversity, equity, and inclusion, especially when it comes to education.
CBS's Jim Krasula tells us some people feel empathy may not be a good thing.
Some conservative Christian evangelicals are saying empathy has become a vice. They claim the virtue can manipulate people into accepting what the critics see as sins, like abortion access and LGBTQ plus rights. That view has gained traction among President Donald Trump's Christian base as he enacts hardline policies.
This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
A young fisherman in Northern California may have broken a world record.
13-year-old Julian Herr of Rio Oso was fishing with his father in Tamales Bay when he caught a whopper.
And my arms were hurting.
His father, Rina Herr, started recording.
Oh my God!
It was a 63-pound white sea bass as big as Julian.
I thought it was a shark when I first saw it.
The Herrs are checking with the International Game Fish Association, but it appears the catch netted Julian a new juvenile world record.
It's okay if it's not. We had a blast and we made core memories for life.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Federal auto safety regulators are investigating why Tesla has repeatedly broken rules requiring it to tell them quickly about crashes involving its self-driving technology that may soon be deployed in millions of its cars on U.S. roads. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said yesterday that, quote, numerous incidents were submitted far too late. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Hey! More of what you need. Wave 105 FM.
At Wave 105 FM, we're more than just a station. We're your platform, your voice, your conversation. We're talking about what matters most to you today and in our future. And we want you to be part of it. Got something to say? We're listening. Different opinions? Bring them on. Let's talk, let's debate, let's connect, because every voice counts. Call or WhatsApp us at 671-922-1051. And if that line's busy, hit us up at 922-1052. This is Talk Radio for everyone. This is Wave 105 FM, the Talk of Guam.
One pill can kill. Fake pills often contain fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl, equivalent to a few grains of salt, to be lethal. Fake pills are often sold on social media platforms, making them available to anyone with a smartphone.
Talk early and often to youth about the dangers of misusing prescription drugs and the lethal dangers of counterfeit drugs laced with fentanyl.
Stay informed, stay safe. One pill can kill.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the radio stations of Glimpses Media Group, Wave 105 FM, and Power 98. Country music lives on Route 99 FM. Tune in to 99.5 FM or listen live online at Route99FM.com to catch all your favorite country music non-stop and direct. 24/7 country music. Classics, throwbacks, and the chart toppers are keeping you cruising on Guam's road to all country music, Route 99 FM.
You're we're tuned into Wave 105.1 FM with Edge of Heaven with your host, Rand Coffman, every Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can listen to us online on our website, thewave105.com, or watch us live on YouTube, Wave 105.1 FM Guam. If you want to join the conversation, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 2. You can also send us your comments on WhatsApp at 671-922-1051. Edge of Heaven is brought to you by Burger King. Vote Burger King Best Burger for Pika's Best. Thank you, Guam. You rule.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host. Yes,